All right. Hey, everyone out there. This is Barbara Hort with I Am This Woman. And Lord knows, we're having so many shows that we're basically coming on twice a week because everybody wants to come on I Am This Woman. And if you ask, what is I Am This Woman? It really is a show to promote women, what they're up to, what they're creating. Yes, we do have men on the show if they're supporting women. And really, our whole motto is we are women, we know women, and we celebrate women. So today, let me tell you who the guest of honor is. Our guest today, I'm going to say her name. I should have asked you beforehand. I'm going to say it wrong. I'm going to say it wrong. Josie Smith. Let me see. Malave. Did I say it?
I mean, that's close. That's close enough.
How
Yeah,
do you say it?
Malave. Like I always,
Malave.
I think bad girl. Mala means bad girl in Spanish, so I always think Malave. Okay, Malave.
I love that. I love it. Talk about bad girl in Spanish. I love it. So Josie's a candidate for mayor of the city of Wilton Manors.
I am.
She's the one of the hosts of It's Happening Now, a really great show. Like I've seen your show. It's really clever and cool, and I love the whole energy.
Thank you.
You're the chef and owner of Bubbles and Pearls restaurant in Wilton Manors, which is fantastic, right?
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, and you're here today to discuss your perspective on leadership and why you believe we need more women in leadership roles.
Yeah.
So, welcome to I Am This Woman.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm so dramatic. First of all, we've got like Richard who's watching, and he's like, I love you both so much. We love you too. And Benjamin, who is like, yes, ladies, yes, yes. So tell us, first of all, how are you doing with all the stuff going on? Talk to us.
Oh yeah. Well, let's start where I think everybody is wondering. I was 65 plus days positive with the COVID, and I feel so grateful. I feel so blessed to be on this spectrum, this side of the spectrum in terms of the COVID virus. And I was simultaneously living this experience with my friend on a respirator in the hospital, and at any given time, and I had a friend on the other end who was completely asymptomatic, and I was sitting somewhere in the middle, just going through each day, crossing my fingers, doing what I needed to do, eating nutritious food, taking care of myself, keeping myself rested, and also moving to keep my lymphatic system moving. I was on top of my supplements, juicing like a crazy person, just ingesting nutrient rich liquids, meditating, doing all the stuff that I needed to keep moving forward and stay in the right state of mind. And at no point did I ever surrender to this idea that this was the end of me. So I think that was also another big piece. But I'm so grateful. I'm just so grateful and just so grateful. The COVID crisis really helped me focus on what's important and reconnect to those things that are important to me, reconnect to my priorities, reconnect to my commitments, and reconnect to my mission and my vision for this life and for this world.
Yeah, and I love that too, because sometimes I know that for me, we're like, this is show number 24, and I Am This Woman, right? It is growing. It is like literally from the time I thought about it in December until now, things have shifted and changed so much. And I know with everything going on, it has shifted into what's important to me. And I was talking to someone who's going to be a guest, and she was like, well, I'm concerned about this or I'm concerned about that. And I said, get really clear about what's most important to you. Get really clear about what are the things that you really, really want to do. And those are the things that you focus on, right?
No.
So with all of that happening, I mean, it really did shift your perspective because you have some big major things that are happening and that you're doing. So yeah. Let's talk about all of that.
Yeah, well, so in this pause, in this moment of pause, my business was sleeping as well, because like so many other businesses, my business too was affected. I'm a small business owner, and so we were hit very hard. We're still crawling out of that space, and every day is a race to a hard decision, and that's the reality of not only my reality, but it's many people's reality in this moment. So, I put out a lot of compassion for everyone else who's kind of going through this and doing what they can to save their babies and save their dreams and save their businesses. Um, so in that process, there was a time too, and being the leader of my business and having a team of people who looked to me for guidance,
Right.
for answers, for resolution, right? Not having those answers, not being able to provide for everyone, not being able, almost left me a bit helpless and hopeless, right? But again, it's like that practice of surrender. You surrender into the moment. You trust that what you're doing and what you have done up to this point has been enough to like move you through this challenge, right?
Right.
And so, we that's what we've been doing, and each day uh, towards reopening the business, which we're now doing slowly, very slowly. Even our dining room isn't open; we're only doing takeout.
Mhm.
But in that process, I had this idea that I was going to run for city commissioner a while back. A while back, the moment I landed in this town of Wilton Manors, I thought I was going to run for commissioner because I wanted to be a contribution, and I thought that I had a lot of skill sets, unique skill sets that I would bring to the table, and it would help us move the progress of our city forward, right? At
Absolutely.
the Yeah, at the time, there was a young vice mayor who I saw on the panel, and I said, "Wow, he's not like the rest of these guys." Okay, and him and I, we became fast friends. And when that happened, just before a few days before I was about to announce, he passed away unexpectedly, and it
Mm.
left our yeah, it left a void, it left a hole in our community, and I started getting phone calls from people who knew I was running for commissioner. And they said, Josie, would you consider running for mayor? And I thought, first off, it's a little too soon to be thinking about those things. Everyone knew that I was going to be supporting the reelection of Justin Flippin. Everyone knew that. And I just thought, not right now. Well, when I paused and I said, not right now, then I got coronavirus. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I still don't know if I'm going to run for mayor or if I'm going to run for commissioner. And I kept thinking it gave me more time. Like I authored that amount of time to think it out and to really think about what was going to be the next step.
Right.
And then 3 weeks into it, I said, is it too crazy for me to consider being the first COVID positive candidate for mayor? I said, you know what? Before I announce, let me go and get tested again. And so about 37 days I waited. Okay.
Mhm.
I got tested again, and it came back positive again.
So how do you deal with that when you're thinking, I'm here it is, I'm getting better, and then you're still here you go with a positive test because there's a lot going on. And when you get that positive test, what is going through your mind?
Well, so that was like this moment I said, "Oh my God, I waited this long to be sure. I wanted to be sure. I wanted to be safe, to be around people, my conscious way of thinking. I'm just doing the right thing." Listen, the CDC doesn't say that you have to go and get retested. They say after 14 or 21 days of self-quarantine, go ahead back out into the world. But I said to myself that as a conscious leader in my community, the only right
Right.
thing to do would be to get retested. So then I go do the right thing, and here I go with a positive test. So another pause. Hold it. You're not ready to announce yet. You're not ready to announce yet. So again, gave me some more time to think. And
To
at
think
this
about it.
point,
Yeah.
yeah, it gave me more time to think. So it gave me more time to think. And as the time started to go by, I went back into 14 more days of self quarantine. And now we're at almost 65 plus days of self quarantine. And I said, okay, if not me, who? And
True.
if not now, when? I had given already enough a time to everyone. 65 plus days is enough time for a leader to emerge, right? To
Right.
someone to emerge, to stand in the place, to stand up, to stand out, to come out and show up, right?
Right.
And what I saw was, you know, I said, okay, these are fine public servants. They're fine public servants. But you know what? I think it's time for me to answer a call. I think there's a moment here for me to step up and step in,
Yeah.
and not from a just only a contribution, but as a leader.
As a leader. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's a huge part. And I think that's a huge thing that a lot of people are there's this call because we can keep on waiting until all of this goes away or all of this stops or this happens. And it'll never be perfect. In the, when I started to create this show, I said, I don't care if I have no guest, one guest, whatever it is. And if whoever's watching, whoever's not watching, I am just going to make this happen because I think that it's so critical to have a platform where women can share what they're up to, what they're creating, what they're doing. I think it's critical. It's critical. And so if I would have waited, it's never a perfect time. Your website will never be perfect. The message, nothing will. And then you just make a decision that this is it. So I know you mentioned that your whole premise, like you just really want to do about discussing that perspective on leadership and why you believe we need more women in leadership roles. Now, I have my ideas why I think we need more women in leadership roles, but I would love, what is your perspective and why do you think we need more women in leadership roles?
Well, let's just start off, guys. You know, nothing against the men who are watching the show today. Love you all. I have great dad. I have a great father, okay, who taught me kindness and taught me strength and taught me resilience and taught me so many things,
Right.
and that were unique to a male perspective. Okay. I also have a brother who is the best father and loving brother and supportive brother. He's a great friend. He's a strong, just honorable guy. I have a lot of great men in my life. Okay. I have a lot of great men in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just put that to the side for a moment and let's be honest. Men, you guys have been running things forever.
Mm-hmm.
You've been running the world. You've been running this life. And quite frankly, our cities are burning right now.
Right.
Our cities are burning.
Yeah.
We have immigrants in cages. We have women fighting for the rights to their body. We have children going hungry every single night in this country.
Yeah.
There's so much pain in this country and in and around the world that it's really time for women to step up because there's something unique about us.
I agree. I agree.
We're the womb. We're the womb. This is where life begins.
Yeah.
Right? And even though I have no children, I understand that because it's inherent in my body.
It is. It's something within you. And I think the thing about it is, I know for me, it is, I've been looking at everything that's been going on and what's happening. And I'm like, where is it that things are going to shift and change and where we really are going to start impact? And I agree with you. I believe that there's some amazing men out there. I had Josh Rydell, who was on the show. He is running for Broward County state attorney. He's fantastic in what he does in Coconut Creek. But I do agree that there's so much of a need for women to come in. We're nurturers. This is what we do. You're right. We have so much that's happening. It's like 2020 is literally a dumping ground, and I've never seen anything like it. And I love the fact that you're saying, like, well, it is time to step up. It's time to stop saying one day I'll do this. One day I will do this. And I love it. If it's not you, then who, right? And that's the thing about it. So I love that you're creating that space to be able to do that. What makes Wilton Manor so special? Now, I love Wilton Manors. When I go down there, the energy is different. It's the freedom of the place, whatever it is. What is it so special for you and why you want to be in this space of really leading, that city?
I have to say first, this city, I had no idea how special it was until I moved here.
Mm-hmm.
this city has given me my wife, who now we are now married and together for 5.5 years. It has allowed me the opportunity to plant my entrepreneurial seed and open a successful restaurant. My first little baby, Bubbles and Pearls.
Yeah.
It is opened the world to lifetime friendships that I, there's no value. There's no dollar amount to represent the value of these friendships, right?
Hmm.
And then it's given me my community. This,
Yeah.
this is my community. I feel so at home here. I feel so loved here, so accepted here, so safe here, right?
Yeah.
And so we started off with that. That's if I can just give back this much, then
Right.
we're
And
if
right.
I can give back this much, okay. Um, but this town is unique in a way that it's a small town, right? It's about, and it depends which numbers you're looking at, but the official is about 13,000 people. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Small. Yeah.
That's cool, right? And so there's this small town feel. Everyone knows each other, and we have a real opportunity to create a model that can be duplicated in many other cities. I think when we take this little town that has so much potential, it has so much potential. But
Right.
most of the time, folks are just driving through it. They don't even know that they've crossed into Wilton Manors. Like, I want to make sure that we put a billboard sign that lets you know this is Wilton Manors. Welcome to our little island city, and life is just better here. We are official, certified natural habitat. Okay, wildlife habitat, which is so
Wow.
exciting. I'm an animal lover, so I love that we are a
Wait a minute. You're not just an animal lover. Let's talk about. I love how you're like. I'm an animal lover. No, let's. I love this. Let's be real.
mm,
Okay, about first of all, she's watching. She says we've been business owners in Wilton Manor for
oh,
10 years, right? And the island city, right? So
yes.
let's talk about your love of animals because. Okay, go ahead. How
Yeah.
many animals do you have?
Well, I have enough. Okay, let's not talk about that. I have enough, and it's not only that, but my wife is like basically saving all of the kittens who are falling out of the air right now. Okay, just this past month, she rehomed and placed and saved about 30 kittens. 30 kittens. Okay, that's a real number. 30. And if one human being can do that, imagine what an entire unified community can do. And
Wow.
you and I know something about that. You and
Yes.
I know about not having to do anything and simply taking a time and taking commitment and taking a community together and
Right.
creating legacies. We created a legacy right here in my backyard, right here at Kids in Distress, where we raised over $150,000 and
Yes, we
erected
did.
a greenhouse over the weekend. You get what I mean?
Yeah, with a group of individuals who are committed to making a difference and being there for these kids. And you're right. What an amazing, amazing thing that we created and we did. So you're absolutely right. And I love that your fact that like Marcy, she turned around and 30, like these 30 kittens and saying, this is what I'm doing. But I think what really impresses me is that there's a commitment that is needed to really say, you know what, I want to do this. I want to make a difference. I want to have things stand out. I want to be able to say, I value who you are and what you're up to. Or like you with Wilton Manor saying, look at this city, look at what's possible, and look at how we can duplicate this in other places and help to make a difference. And I think that part is huge. That part is something that's so incredibly important. And I think that that's the thing that really makes the difference right there. Because when you decide, because there's a lot of, I know in Boca I had to leave the office early because there's, people are saying, I want to protest. I want to have my voice be heard and all of that. And I think now maybe this year is coming to a place of it's time for our voices to be heard. But more than heard, because it's one thing to say things, but it's the doing. Like, what is it that we're going to do to really step in to make this difference? And she said, yes, right. It is a small group of individuals with a commitment to a greater purpose.
Yes, Anya, that's exactly true.
And that is so perfect. So what is it that you feel like, when you're saying with the leadership of women, because you're right, I do believe it's time for us to have women step up and to do these things. And where do you feel that, how I would love us to challenge the women who are watching and who will watch, because we'll share this and they'll watch. What is it that you're wanting to maybe even just put out the call, right? For
Hmm.
women to say, hey, it's time, for us to step up.
Well, let's just go there. Let's just go there. The reality of it is that women, we have been in these roles through history, that we're waiting for permission to act. We're waiting for permission to respond. We're
Right.
waiting for permission to be. And
Mhm.
guys, we're in 2020 right now, okay? And it's time for women to stop asking for permission
So
to
true.
thrive, to express themselves, to be powerful, to empower others and be inspired and inspiring. Like it's time for us to, like you said, use our voices,
So important.
and what is really important, what I think is important, is that as we step into these leadership roles, that we are very conscious of lifting other women. One of the things that I see, and even now, some people, there's another woman who I'm running against, and
Mhm.
quite frankly, I look at it like this: I'm not running against anyone. I'm just presenting my perspective. I'm presenting
Right.
alternative. I believe in democracy, and here you go. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is what I bring to the table. I think that any one of the candidates who are running, they all represent different perspectives, and I also think that they have been honorable and integrous public servants. That
Right.
being said, they represent an old way and I represent a new possibility. That's simple. That's the distinction. But I will never, rag on or put down Julie Carson. You get what I mean? Because she's a
Yeah.
woman in politics who took a leadership stand, and for that, I honor her. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I love that you said that it is time for our voices to be heard. It's time to, because I know when I first started doing this, everybody asked me, they're like, well, how are you going to make money? And are you doing this for free? And why are you doing this? It's because I wanted to create a platform where if you have something to say, and how this all started was I'm working on a book and I was doing an interview with a woman, and she says, oh, when I talk to you, it's like talking to Oprah. And I thought about it because I'm like, you're never going to get on Oprah in a million years unless something major happens, right? You might never even meet someone, but I can create a space,
One
right?
degree of separation, girl. One
Let me
degree.
tell you something here. It is 1 degree of separation. And it's such an interesting thing because what I'm finding out is that someone today, Taylor Schechter, who is one of the women on I Am This Woman, she was on a show. She mentioned I Am This Woman, mentioned my name. Someone reached out to me and said, I would love to connect with you. She's in Atlanta. And all of this is how it happens. This is what we do. But me putting this together, because when people did it, they're like, what is this? And now here we are at show number 24. We got 3 months of shows coming up. We have so much more going on. And if you tell me, I have people who are doing something similar, or they're like, oh, I saw this. I think I can do this. Good for you. The
Good.
more we get out there. Yes. There's how many billions of people on the planet? Get out there, let your voice be heard, step up and really fall into that space. And I think that that is so incredibly important. So I totally stand behind you on doing this and saying, women, it is time. And no more asking. Here, if you need some permission, come closer. Josie and I, we'll give you permission. Josie, you give them permission. We both give them permission to do what they do, right? They're,
Yeah,
like,
please.
look, yeah, you got your permission right here. You got it.
There you got it.
Yeah. She says, I remember when you got up and claimed your winning spot at Motherhood Rewritten, and, heart like fire, you go. Because I did. I decided that this is the one thing. When I was younger, I didn't have a voice. And I said, I will never, if I can create a space for women to have their voices, here it is. And if you need the permission, here's two women right here saying, your permission has been granted. We got you, you
Mhm.
know? And if you don't know what to say, or if you don't know, like, can I do this? the best way to do it is to try it. You know, when you started Bubbles and Pearls, I mean, and I love Bubbles and Pearls, great
Thank,
restaurant, you
thank
know,
you
you're
so much.
super talented. When you started that, what was that first step of holy butt puckering? What the heck am I doing?
I think you were there. I think you remember that journey. So that was a time when I was really challenging myself, and I didn't know how it was gonna how how we were gonna have it happen. I didn't know the process really. I knew that okay, it was supposed to be a donut shop. It ended up being a champagne and oyster bar. Okay, you know what I mean? And I, the about it, I was just going with my instinct, and I knew certain fundamentals that I knew had to be applied. And obviously, I have a certain amount of taste, right? And standards. I have standards. Okay, don't be ashamed of your standards. Um, again, going back to permission, permission to have a standard. I have standards. Um, and I was just thinking, what's missing? Okay, that's what
Mhm.
I do as a leader, right? Is I'm always looking at what's missing.
Yeah,
Okay, what's missing as an entrepreneur? That's my thing. What's missing so that I can create what we need to fill the
yeah,
void. As a leader, I'm always thinking, what's working, what's not working, what do I get to add, right?
right,
So every single day I'm going through this process, this group of questions. It's like those four powerful questions,
right.
like rock the world. But back to Bubbles and Pearls, I had Marcy asking. She's been a part of the community for about 13 years, the Wilton Manors community, and she worked at one of the local spots called Rosie's. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's
I
here on
haven't
the
been there, but I've heard of it. Yes.
yeah. So that's where you go to be seen. Okay. They got some really great burgers, and I always get the Rosen Island wrap. It's like a Caesar salad and a chicken. It's really great. And anyways, real simple. But she would ask everyone, so what do you think about champagne and oysters? Oh, I don't know. And some folks said, well, haven't you heard, you don't go to a new business in Wilton Manors. You have to wait 3 months to see if they survive. And I thought, whoa, when I heard that, I go, so
Wow.
what a boost of encouragement right there,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that how interesting it is? So, isn't that how interesting things are that people will look and see what you're doing, and then when they feel like, oh, okay, you're kind of grounded now, I'll show up. I see that with this show is that what happens is people are like, what are you doing? And then all of a sudden, I have people reaching out, going, this is really good, and I like what you're doing. And how
Count
are
me
you
in.
doing this? Yeah. So this is interesting. But you decided, I'm assuming, because Bubbles and Pearls is celebrating
four
how many
years
years? 4 years.
Yeah.
So what happened in those first 3 months?
Oh my God. I can't tell you how many times I sat in the alleyway in my car crying because I thought, yeah, this is not going to work. This is not going to work as I thought I had it planned in my mind.
Right, right.
And it was just too hard. It was too challenging in terms of, just finding the right staff, getting everyone trained.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, my wife and our relationship, and just working with your partner, and
yeah,
that wasn't necessarily a part of the plan either. Um, Making sure that we were out there and getting the word out. And I tell you, it was in those moments when I was crying and ready to like just give up and say, look,
mhm.
and I did this probably every 6 months until now. And there were so many times that I sat in that car, and I just said, oh my God, but what are the gifts?
Yeah,
And I think this is a distinction with women in leadership, and it's being able to see the gifts, to see the blessings, to
yeah,
see what the juicy, the juicy love bits that we get out of it, the goodies, right? We know them as
yeah,
goodies. And I think of it like that, right? I think about, wow, look at all these relationships we've been creating. Wow, look at all the laughs and the joy that we're inspiring in our community.
right.
look at just the support that we're creating community in our house. And when they come in, they drop their LGBTQ plus label.
Labels, right?
Yeah,
All
right.
of it.
All of the labels, all of the labels. And so, it didn't matter about politics. Even during the election cycle, I had a Trump supporter and a Hillary supporter sitting
Right.
at the Oyster Bar. One had a deplorable shirt on and the other one said, "Go Hillary." I'm like, oh my God. We have the straight community who comes in and supports. It's not just LGBTQ.
Right.
It is just like such a diverse, and that is what brings me joy. That brings me joy, so much joy that, hey man, like I said, it's time to duplicate. That's why I'm running for mayor. Okay, let's grow the city. Let's celebrate community, diversity of our community, and let's make sure we're doing it healthy and mind, body, and spirit.
And it's so important. And one of the things about I Am This Woman, what I love is that, I was talking to one of the ladies you meet, Sadaf, who is, oh, I know, my best friend of so many years. And we were talking about you'll love this. My friend Kat Sattler, who's watching, one of my dear friends, she's like, it makes me want to move to Wilton. I've been wanting to move to Wilton for a long time because I think and then she put on manners.
Let's make it happen, guys.
So one of the things that I love when we're talking about it is that what makes I Am This Woman so unique and different than other women's groups, and our diversity is so important because I want all women, you identify yourself as a woman, however it is, to say that this is a safe space for you to come, share your dreams, and don't ask for permission. Be the badasses that you are. Step up to the plate. Hit a home run, strike out, whatever you do, keep on doing it because that is what really makes the difference. So one of the things I always do is I always ask my guests certain questions because I love to get just different perspectives in life and everything. So if you're going to have a vision for your life, for the world, whatever it is, like what is your vision that you're working on and creating?
Oh, well, that's easy. That's an easy one. Listen, I live a life as a stand for consciousness, an awakening, for nurturing, for just love, and when I think about it, it's like everything. It can all fall under consciousness and nurturing and love. And when we do things for that reason, is to help continue to wake the minds and bring everyone along on that journey and make sure we all have what we need because there's an abundance of it on the planet. And then be able to do this with love. Everything we do, we can do with love. We don't have to do anything with hate in our hearts. We can do it. We can be effective with love. It's not one or the other. It is, we can do it all.
Yeah, I agree. In the next 45 days, what will you create?
All right. Well, so the restaurant's coming back, that's for sure. So in the next 45 days, it's a full court press to getting our restaurant reopened. I'm going to be starting just from my Chef Josie for Mayor page, a daily conversation, kind of like this, but more about Wilton Manors.
Sure.
Just focused on Wilton Manors and what we need as a community. And I'm just going to start right now. I've already started it, but bringing people together to have real conversation about how we're going to get through this crisis and start sharing my ideas for how we do this and how we do this together. One of the really important parts of these next 45 days is getting the message out there, getting people on board with believing that we can get through this.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be about a little inspiring campaign of positivity.
I love an inspiring campaign because I think the thing about it is that if we look at here we are today, is we're going into the 6th month, right, of 2020. And if we thought things, it is incredible to watch everything that is happening and everything that is going on. And right now, Katie said, open conversation in person, take it offline, let's get together. And I think that, what, a lot of the things that we are needing to do is that, but I think whether it's offline or online or wherever it is, pick up the phone, connect. Even when I reached out to you to say, hey, I would love to have you on the show. Well, of course, your first thing was, well, yeah, but that's what happens when you have these relationships and when you put it together. But what I really do appreciate is the fact of it is that change has to happen, that there are things that are going on. I think we can have things go on so long and then it comes to a point where change is needed, and I think 2020 is just saying, okay, either you change or I'm gonna, my God.
I think a lot of people are going, can someone turn off the lights? It's like the TikTok video. Okay, turn off the lights, and then it's
Yes. Yeah. And we're
trying to
back,
do this
right?
again.
Yeah, it is. It is. I've never seen anything like it. But I have to say, like, I'm super proud of what you're up to and what you're creating. I know what I'm doing because I'm not worried about, look, I know things could be better this way or better that way, but I am really committed to being in this space. So I think that's the thing that is most important. So, what is your biggest hurdle to climb?
My fundraising goal. That's as I'm learning. As
Oh,
I'm
child, yes.
as I'm learning about politics, it's like this is a pay to play kind of business. And,
Yes.
you can have a lot of great ideas, but you really need the support of the community and your friends and your family to come in and donate to your campaign, to your cause, and to your vision. And when they believe in you, it shows. I know a lot of people believe in me, and I know it's
Right.
tough for everyone right now. So I'm having
Yeah.
a really grassroots type of approach to this campaign, and we're committed to 25 super donors, which means basically that there's $350 to 1,000, which is the max, okay, by
Mhm.
law, 350 to $1,000 for 25 super donors who are going to be the foundation of this campaign. And then we just keep on moving forward, and we keep on moving forward with small grassroots donations, and
Yeah.
we show them that this is about community. This is about community.
I love that. And Katie says she's like, I love you both. We love you too. And she's like, go, Josie. She says, I love your statement and that you are focused on building from within, that you take action. And, yes, on the grassroots. And I know, you know what, it's so interesting because you're right. It is such a pay to play, right? But, well, when I think about is this what our forefathers created this all for in the first place, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So I think this is where things are changing, but I've also seen it where people have decided, I'm going to run and this is what I do, and there it is. So what keeps you going?
Oh, that's easy. Listen, I'm so grateful to be alive.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to be alive, and I have so much love around me. My wife is I'm probably her biggest critic, but at the same time I'm her rock. But what she doesn't realize is she's really my rock.
Yeah.
And without her, I
Love
mean,
it.
I would probably fall apart. But yeah, I yeah, listen. What keeps me going is knowing that there's still so much work to be done. You
Yeah.
know, what keeps me going is feeling inspired to inspire the next generation. What keeps me going is knowing that I'm a steward of the planet and knowing my responsibility as a baby elder now. Oh my God, I'm
A
a
baby elder. Oh my gosh. I want a little Josie baby elder. I love that.
Yeah, and understanding my responsibility to help the next generation and face whatever challenges are going to come their way. I understand my role and uh my place in this world, and um I'm paving it out and creating it as I go. And I hope that inspires my little niece and my nephew, who are just beautiful, and all the other little
Yeah.
kids in the world to dream big and dream as big as they can see and understand what possibility looks like.
Yeah. I love that, to dream big, because to me, like, this is, look. This is nothing but a dream here. I am this woman. This is dream. And it's so funny. I was talking to Missy Wilson, which we both, oh yeah, I know, right? And she says, I love watching you and I love seeing you in your element because this is exactly where you're meant to be. And it took a while for me to figure this out. So I wake up every morning sometimes with these butt puckering moments of what the heck am I doing? Right. And who told me that I could do this? But and then I get so clear it's that I this is my gift and what my truth is and owning that. And so I love, and that's what I'm creating for a space for. I love having sometimes these young girls who come on the show and when they speak and they speak with such passion and gumption and just like this is who I'm up to. I know it's the best thing ever. It's so good. Um, so how do you keep a positive mindset?
Um, Practice.
Girl.
Practice.
Woo, yes.
Choice.
Yeah.
Choice. You know.
You know what? Say it again. Choice.
Yeah, choice, practice,
Choice.
and choice. Because every moment, like even in this moment, right, we could all of us. I mean, the whole world is in this. Like I said, our cities are on fire. We have 40
Right.
million people unemployed. There's 1 in 5 kids going hungry tonight.
Yeah.
Hungry to bed tonight. And when I think about it, we could all choose despair.
Hmm.
And we're seeing a 40% increase in people needing counseling for depression.
Right.
And,
Right.
you know, when I'm thinking about this, like, I know I could choose despair.
Hmm.
Well, then why would I do that?
Right. You're consciously making that choice to say, I am choosing this. And I consciously wake up every morning saying, I choose, I am this woman. I choose to create. I choose to make a difference. I choose to be a stand. I choose to be this woman. Like I choose to be a space for other women to have their voices heard. That is a conscious choice. And what I love that in these last 6 months, how I'm showing up all of a sudden I'm meeting a new Barbara that I didn't even know existed. Now, a lot of you guys knew existed, but I had no idea.
Hey,
You
well,
know? Yeah.
late bloomers, okay?
You know what, boo? But I tell you, we bloom well. We bloom well.
Yeah.
We do. I love that. So one of the things that really, really hit me is that back in January, when Kobe Bryant and his daughter and the other passengers died, I didn't really follow him much. But the one thing that hit me is when I read his story, I saw that he created a legacy. He has said he loved basketball, but he said when basketball went away, he was like, what is my new love? And so this mama mentality for his daughter, making about the leadership of women, about women's basketball, and really creating that stance. He did so much in those 3 years. He left an amazing legacy. Josie, what is the legacy that you're creating and that you want to leave?
Yeah. I thank you for asking me that. Thank you. Um, you know, that's what I talk about every single day. People ask me, why are you running for mayor? Are you sure you want to like jump into politics? Like, Josie, you have a great life. Why you want to get into politics?
Yeah.
Don't you think you could affect more change outside of the chamber? And I think I want to live a life that's legacy worthy.
Yeah.
What is that legacy? What is that legacy? Legacy worthy. I want to know that I affected and inspired an entire new generation of people to step up and stand in, to be powerful in their skin,
Mm.
to have the courage to live fully expressed. I want to be able to inspire people to have a voice and to use it. I always say, don't just talk, speak to be heard. Speak to
Yes.
be heard. And just, don't just talk about it.
Yeah.
Be about it, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
when I think about this, everything I do is about just maybe there's that one little girl, that one little boy
Yeah.
who's listening to what I have to say,
Hmm.
and that they actually believe in a bigger future than they could ever dream.
Isn't that the truth?
If I know that I'm doing that, and maybe it's an adult, but I'm hoping the kids are listening. But maybe it's an adult, and if
Yeah.
I can just help other people, maybe by sharing my story and sharing my life and sharing my journey and
Right.
sharing my accomplishments, my failures, sharing and being open and being, you know, transparent and
Right.
vulnerable and doing that it inspires other people to do the same, that we can have it all. We can be powerful, and we can be vulnerable, we can be successful, and we can fail, you know
Yeah.
we can be courageous and we can be scared. It's not one or the
Or
other.
the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I love that you said that. And Tamara Barber, who was on the show on this past Friday, she said something really powerful. Oh, I know. I love her. I love her. She's my soul sister.
You're pulling out all the all-stars, okay?
Oh, I don't play. Look, I am this woman. If you know someone who's good on the show, like you send them my way, because
Okay, you got
there it is, right? But what I love that she said is, she says, my legacy is I'm constantly creating it. She says, it's not just this one thing, it's this, it's that. And so I love, because if there's a woman who's watching this and who's saying, I could do this, or I want to do this, or I've never had my voice heard, I'm ready for it, then that's what this is for. So me bringing on you and these other powerful dynamic women, or like a Joshua Rydell, who is in Broward County politics, who's making a difference. Like, connect with him, because he's someone that you want to know. He's an incredible, incredible man, right? And so I'm going to put a note out there, say, Josh, connect with Josie, because Josh and Josie, I love even the sound of it.
right.
But I think that that's super important, because I think that it's those kind of things that really help to make a difference. And I love what you're doing. I love what you're putting out there. So if you were going to leave anybody who's watching or who will watch, right, a message, like, what is your message that you want to say to them?
What I've been saying to everyone these days, listen, it's tough right now. We know that. It's tough. It's not just tough for you, it's tough for all of us. We're all being affected in one way or another. And some harder than the other, but that doesn't separate us. That actually pulls us together. That,
Together. Yeah.
yeah, for the first time, this is us all together in the same boat. And when the waters rise, we're all going to rise together.
Yeah.
And I just invite people to just choose kindness right now. Choose compassion. Choose empathy.
Yeah.
Choose patience. And I'm saying that not just for other people, but choose those things for yourself.
Yeah. And I love choose kindness, because I think that it's such a vital thing, that sometimes all you have to do is smile at someone else, see where they are, sometimes do nothing but just sit with them and acknowledge that, you know what, I see you. I see your greatness. I see your beauty. I see your brilliance. And if you are down, then I will sit with you and be down with you, because I'm there. And sometimes it's not always about pulling them up. Sometimes getting down there into the trenches with them. You know, so I absolutely love that. And we always say at the end of every show, we always ask the guests to say their name and say, I am this woman. So I would love for you to do that.
My name is Josie Smith Malave, and I am this woman.
You should have seen last week, Tamara. She must have did 5 takes on that. She says, I've been practicing on this. She kept on doing it over. It was the funniest thing. So I'm going to put a whole spook together of people saying, I am this woman,
Well, let me tell you, so you know why I paused there, right? Because I was just really going to say, my name is Josie Smith Malave. I'm candidate for mayor of Wilton Manors, owner of Bubbles and Pearls, host of It's Happening Out, and I am this woman.
I love that. Let me tell you, because we are never just, that's what I am this woman is about. It's like, I am this woman when I'm working at the nonprofit. I am this woman when I'm doing consulting. I am this woman on the show. I am this woman when I'm a friend or a mother. I am this woman. So when you do that, I absolutely love it, because you are this woman in all areas of that. It's like, bam. So guys, if you have enjoyed this show, first of all, you're in Wilton Manors. get out and vote. If you're in Wilton Manors, reach out to Josie. How can I support you on this campaign? What are you up to? I love what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like, support her.
you can go to chefjosie2020.com. Chefjosie2020.com. There you go.
Easy enough. ChefJosie2020.com, right? And then if you're thinking, I love this show, Barb, what the heck are you doing? And I would love to be a part of it. Then you see that little scroll, little ticker across the bottom, show guests at IamThisWoman.com. Please, you know what? I'm always looking for guests. We're kind of booked all the way up until August, but my gosh, August will be here before you know it. And we're always looking. Now, I'm crazy enough to think I'm going to write a book. So I've been pushed to write this book, and I've been trying to stay away from it, but I am looking for women to be part of this and telling their story. Okay. So what I would love for you to do is, if you're interested in being in the book and telling your story, book at IamThisWoman.com. If you could send me an email, and we'll be happy to get you on board. If you're just saying, gosh, that Barbara lady, she's pretty cool, and I think I really want to be friends with her, send me an email, Barbara at IamThisWoman.com. I am a pretty cool and amazing woman, so if I do say so. And as we're building our website, which is almost done, we're looking for bloggers. Anyone who has a story to share, send an email to blog@IamThisWoman.com to be part of that. And I'm going to tell you, I can never do this alone. I have the most incredible, amazing team. Taylor, Sammy, and Yamit, and myself, the four of us are a group, and we're building I Am This Woman. And it is probably one of the greatest gifts in the world, is to be supported and guided by so many amazing women. And I love that Anya said, yes, you are, because that's what it is. When it comes down to it, I am. If you do nothing else, look in the mirror every day and say, I am this woman. So, Josie, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for saying yes to me. I just greatly appreciate who you are and your energy. I'm glad to see you're feeling better. And yeah. And I can't wait for Bubbles and Pearls to open back up. And, one day everything is going to come back, right? Or we're going to start again or whatever. And this is your chance to step up and say, I am. I am doing this. I am creating. I am. So what I love is on my show, even when I have a man, they're now saying, my name is such and such, and I am this woman. And that's the difference, that we're making. So everyone out there, love each other, take care of each other, and just honor yourself and be this woman. And I am Barbara Hort, your host and founder, and I am definitely this woman. We'll see you guys on Friday. Take care now. Bye.